Getting into a top guild in Hypixel Skyblock is no easy feat. People grind thousands and thousands of hours in skills, dungeons, net worth, slayers, all of those things in order to get into some of the more prestigious guilds that really show how little grass you touch. Flexing Chimps is currently the #1 ranked guild in most categories across the game, especially with the Skyblock level category. They have the highest Skyblock level average by 4 levels as of recording this video, with an average Skyblock level of 325 across the entire guild. Flexing Chimps is filled with some of the sweatiest, grindiest, most insane players in the game, and me. I'm in Flexing Chimps. I somehow weaseled my way into FC back in early 2022, but recently I have kind of just sucked at grinding Skyblock. I don't know if I'm bored or if I was just playing too much Destiny, who knows what's going on, but I just know that I have fallen off. I am skill issuing to the maximum. Recently, Flexing Chimps announced that they're going to be kicking a bunch of people that aren't good at the game, and what they consider not good at the game is Skyblock level 320. Yes, the special rarity is the baseline that they want in Flexing Chimps. Since I was chilling at a measly Skyblock level 295 when they announced the purge, that means I had to get like 25 levels in a very short time before they realized I was still in the guild and I was bad. I had a little bit of a buffer because I have a red name, so they aren't going to kick me immediately, but if they wanted to invite a better member than me, they could totally kick me with justified reason because I don't meet the requirements anymore. So I had no choice. Every YouTuber is a seasoned pro at Skyblock. This is definitely a true statement that is not false at all. So getting kicked from the guild would also mean that I'm no longer a good YouTuber as well. I had to play the game like I hadn't done in years. I had to become a pro at Hypixel Skyblock. Getting Skyblock level 320 was not going to be easy, but I did have a couple things going for me. A lot of my XP across the game was already done. My 295, a lot of that came from having max skill average already. I don't have to go forage, I don't have to go fish. I'm done with those, so I am good for XP there. The majority of the XP that I was missing was actually from a lot of the sources added in Skyblock Levels V2, because those are not retroactive, and a lot of them cost a bunch of money, which I do have a good amount of. Immediately when they announced their purge, I put my money to good use by maxing out some of the essence shops across the game. I maxed out the Ice, Wither, Dragon, Crimson, and Spider essence shops easily. I just spent a bunch of coins. I didn't even record this because I didn't think to record it because I thought that there was no way that I was getting Skyblock level 320. The only essence shop that I did not max out was the Undead essence shop because some of those perks get pretty darn expensive, like Help of the Fairies, Boss Luck 4, and I didn't do Critical Essence because I didn't think it was worth for Skyblock XP. But getting all those essence shops done meant that I was now Skyblock level 298, and I immediately went back to Destiny and played more. I know I said I did this in 2 weeks, but it was 2 weeks of me playing. I just took a big break in between, and I felt like these 3 levels were worth mentioning because 3 levels is a bunch of Skyblock XP. Eventually, I got bored of Destiny, as every Destiny player does, and I decided to actually start grinding some Skyblock XP to see if maybe I could hit level 320, and I figured the best place to start for me was gonna be the Garden. Before I came back on April 22nd, I believe I was Garden level 10. The majority of my XP was just from Cactus and Cane, and I didn't have like over half of the crops even with a farm placed down or any bit close to a high milestone. I think I was level 0 in a couple of the crops, and I just started doing a bunch of garden stuff. You can see that now I have a cocoa bean farm built. I have a netherwort plot. I have a cactus set up. I have a lot of the plots purchased now, and a lot of the farms I actually started using. If we go look at my milestones now, you're gonna see that I was able to get my netherwort up to 26. I grinded 32 million netherwort. I was able to get my pumpkin up. I had that at 0. I was able to get my cocoa bean up to 20. I had that at 0 as well, and I was just able to slowly but surely work through the garden levels. I used the money and copper from doing all of this to put into the composter upgrades and also to get a bunch of other miscellaneous Skyblock XP across the game. I crafted a ton of minions as well. I did not have any Voidling minion crafted, so I got up to a Voidling 11 with a bunch of the profits from the garden. This cost like 177 million coins, so it added up. I also crafted a bunch of my nether minions that I hadn't upgraded to T12, and getting a T12 minion is like 24 XP per, and I was able to do Blaze, Quartz, Magma Cream, Ghast minion. All of those were starting to add up in Skyblock XP, and I was content with pretty much just continuing to play the garden because there's still a lot of XP I can get from here. My composter is only like level 9 at max in any of these perks, and they go up to 25. I'm still only garden 13, but a mayor came into the rotation that made me change my mind and start working on something else, and that mayor was Aatrox. Slayers are actually one of the best ways to get Skyblock XP if you haven't gotten them up to level 9 or done many of them in general, because you're going to get XP from defeating each tier. You get 25 when you defeat a T1, 25 when you defeat a T2 for the first time, and then 50 for T3s and 4s. And you also get a ton of XP from leveling the Slayer. You can see past level 6, you are getting a level or more from 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this is going to give you a ton of XP, and the only problem is you have to have the Slayer setup. Aatrox being elected means that I can get one of the Slayers that I have basically not touched at all up to a higher level and get a ton of XP. And the Slayer that I had not touched and was level 3 in was going to be the Blaze Slayer. The problem with Blaze Slayer is that it's expensive and it is a kind of difficult Slayer to even understand. So me not knowing what to do and not having the setup led to not super fun times. I was basically just doing T1s with Hyperion before Aatrox got added because I really didn't want to have to buy the tier 1 daggers since they were really bad, but I did end up caving and I bought the T1 daggers, got up to level 4, got some really bad T2 daggers, and was basically just grinding some T3 bosses because the T3 bosses give 100 XP and I was really aiming to get to level 6. At level 6 in Blaze Slayer, you unlock the Alert Flare and the Blaze Tech Ham Radio, but the more important things that you unlock are going to be the Pyro Chaos Dagger and the Death Ripper Dagger. The Death Ripper Dagger is the best sword in the game for Blaze Slayer because you're going to be dealing 3.5 times damage to Blaze, and it's going to have a lot of damage stats in general. But this thing has an expensive recipe with 2 sets of 8 Inferno Vertexes and Molten Powder, and you need the T2 Dagger. Moral of the story, this thing costs a lot. Looking on AH right now, one with T6 enchants, which is not even the best kind of enchants, is going to cost 700 million, and one with T7s is going to run you more around 900 million coins. And I didn't really have 900 million coins to spend because I didn't want to dip into my G-Drag purse. So I started selling stuff. My Blood God crest that I had been grinding while I was AFKing slimes. I sold a trophy hunter rod that I had sitting around, and when I stopped being able to sell stuff, I literally went and used my own code on the Hypixel store, code BANANA, to get 5% off of a $100 gem purchase that I literally used to buy cookies and insta-sell to the bazaar in order to get enough money to buy a Death Ripper Dagger. So for the low price of 877 million coins, once I had collected that, I was able to buy the Death Ripper with T7 enchants. You can see this is a beautiful sword. It's awesome. It did cost a lot though. And of course, the first thing I did when I got one was I immediately went to the museum and put it in there because that is going to give me a little bit more Skyblock XP than I had before that. With the Death Ripper in hand, I was finally able to start doing some tier 4 blazes confidently, and I got to grinding during Aatrox. While I was doing my Blaze Slayer, I actually realized something that I had missed in my Skyblock XP, and that was that I had not claimed a lot of the stuff in the boss collections. I had not grabbed like any of my rewards that I had already hit, and each of the rewards that you claim gives 15 Skyblock XP or more depending on how high the tier of reward that you were at. And I have a couple dungeon bosses at a pretty decent tier, so claiming those and then getting Blaze 7 was able to get me up to Skyblock level 300 313. This meant that from April 23rd to May 3rd, I got 15 Skyblock levels and was now so close to 320, and I actually really started sweating and keeping track of this. Getting up to Blaze 7 wasn't super impressive. I probably could have gotten 8 if I grinded more, but I was doing a lot of other stuff, as I mentioned, in getting minions and just spending my money as much as I can on Skyblock XP because I don't need the coins, I need the red number. Once I got 313 from Blaze 7, I decided to go back to the garden and get up to at least 314 from a little bit more crop milestones and upgrades to the composter. But once I hit 314, I realized that there was a couple categories that I had no XP in, and these categories could give 1 or even 2 full Skyblock levels if I just went and did them. The first of these categories was the Crystal Nucleus. I had done a bunch of Nucleus runs in the past, but as I said at the beginning of the video, Skyblock Levels V2 added a milestone that was not retroactive, so I had to do 50 Nucleus runs in order to get the maximum XP, which was 200 XP or 2 full Skyblock levels. 50 Crystal Nucleus runs means that I needed 50 sets of tools for the Jade Crystal, I needed 50 of each robot part, and I just needed good lobbies to be set up to where I could do all of these runs at once because I really didn't want to think about the Crystal Nucleus more than I had to. Need one thing. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Now I can put this in this backpack and look at these ones. Oh my goodness. They are so satisfying. I never ever want to get tools ever again. Once I got all those tools, I just had to find a lobby and just do a bunch of runs. I spent like 50 million coins buying all of the robot parts, and I was hoping to profit a little bit so that I could buy more Abaphone contacts and maybe some more minions, but I'm just going to show you some footage from those runs and some epic loot at the end. I love just all the things combined with like Porygon just being Minecraft. Like anything you combine with Porygon just... Oh, is that a Quick Claw? Yeah!
I told you you're gonna get one.
So yeah, I profited 120 million coins from that, and I was able to hit Skyblock level 316 from just doing 50 Nucleus runs in a row. There was another category, though, that I was fully missing the XP from, and that was the event tasks. This is the Marinas Fishing Festival, the Mining Fiesta, and the Spooky Festival, all of which combined is going to give up to 5.25 levels. The one that I focused on here, though, is the Spooky Festival, because Marina and Cole are not currently elected. The Spooky Festival is going to give 225 XP if you just get into the Emerald bracket, which honestly isn't super hard with the stage that I'm at in the game. Literally, all I needed was some bat person armor, a bat pet, and I used my Dark Claymore and grinded some ghosts during a Spooky Festival. But I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Oh my gosh. One more candy. 5004. Yay. That was terrible. I hated every second of that. Look how beautiful this is. 3 levels because I was high on 316 and now I'm 319. You know what that means? You know what that means? 1 more level for the epic red number on the red name, bro. 1 more. That's right, with Spooky done, I was able to get to Skyblock level 319. And that means that I was one away from the fabled red number. And what else should I do other than one of the hardest bosses in the game, the Infernal Kuudra fight? This gives one full level whenever you complete it. It gives 100 Skyblock XP, however you want to look at it. And all I had to do was find a team to do that, but I don't have a great setup. While I do have a duplex term, a Hyperion, and a pretty good mage setup when it comes to my Infernal Aurora that has tier 7 attributes on it, I do not have good terror armor. I have base terror with a warden helmet, and that is not going to be very good, and I don't think any Kuudra party would really accept me. So I did what any sane person would do. So I got a team from FC to help me do Infernal Kuudra, and finally I was going to be able to hit Skyblock level 320. $320, yeah. I did absolutely nothing there. That last phase of Infernal's kind of dumb. So yeah, in the course of about 2 weeks, I was able to get from 295 to Skyblock level 320. Finally, I have the red name with the red number. Look at that in tab. It's beautiful, and clearly, since I'm at 320 and it took me so long to get to this across the stages of the game that I've played, that must mean I'm super close to the max. I mean, death streaks can't be more than what, like 325? Jesus Christ.